You read the same paragraph twice, then realize you still cannot explain what it said. A few minutes later, you walk into another room and forget why you went there. By lunchtime, a conversation from that morning already feels blurred. That can be frightening, especially after 60. But sometimes, the problem is not that a memory disappeared. Sometimes the brain was too tired to store the information clearly in the first place. Poor sleep can affect attention, concentration, learning, and recall so strongly that it can look like memory loss. It can also make an existing cognitive problem seem worse. By the end of this video, you will understand why that happens, which sleep patterns deserve closer attention, what obstructive sleep apnea can look like, and how to tell ordinary tiredness from a change that should be medically evaluated. To remember something later, the brain first has to notice it now. That first step is called memory encoding. It is the process of taking in a name, a conversation, an instruction, or the reason you entered a room and forming a usable memory from it. When you are well rested, attention helps hold that information in place long enough for the brain to work with it. One part of this process is working memory, the small amount of information you keep active while reading, following directions, calculating a bill, or listening to someone speak. Sleep deficiency weakens that system. The words may reach your ears, but your attention drifts. You may nod through a conversation without fully taking it in. Later, when you cannot recall the details, it feels as though your memory failed. But the first failure may have happened earlier. The information was never stored clearly enough to retrieve. This explains why poor sleep can create such a convincing imitation of memory trouble. You may reread a page, lose the thread of a television program, forget part of a conversation, or need several attempts to complete a familiar task. The experience is real. The cause, however, may involve attention and encoding rather than the permanent loss of stored memories. This is not a diagnosis, of course. It is a useful distinction to discuss with a licensed clinician. When memory problems seem connected to poor or fragmented sleep, the number on the clock does not always tell you how much restorative sleep you received. A person may go to bed at 10, get up at 6, and honestly report 8 hours in bed. Yet the night may have included pain, repeated bathroom trips, breathing interruptions, restless legs, long periods awake, or dozens of brief arousals that were never remembered in the morning. That repeated disruption is called sleep fragmentation. The night is broken into pieces, so the brain never receives the same benefit it would receive from more continuous sleep. This is why someone can say, "I sleep plenty," and still wake with morning fog, irritability, slow thinking, or heavy daytime sleepiness. Older adults generally still need about 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Although individual needs vary, sleep often becomes lighter and more fragmented with age, and earlier bedtimes or wake times may become more common. But persistent exhaustion, severe insomnia, or repeated cognitive fog should not automatically be dismissed as normal aging. The National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, or NHLBI, notes that sleep deficiency can interfere with learning, focus, reaction time, judgment, and the ability to read other people's emotions and reactions. In everyday life, that may look like forgetfulness, poor decisions, missed details, or simply feeling unlike yourself. One bad night can make anyone foggy. The more useful question is whether a pattern has developed. Timing can provide one of the clearest clues. Does the mental fog feel worse in the morning after a broken night? Does concentration improve after a better night of sleep? Are memory complaints more noticeable on days following pain, repeated urination, late alcohol use, or difficulty falling asleep? A sleep-related problem often fluctuates. Some days may be clearly better than others, especially when sleep quality changes. Progressive cognitive decline can also vary from day to day, so fluctuation does not prove that sleep is the cause. But a close connection between the quality of the night and the clarity of the following day is worth noticing. Keep the examples concrete. Instead of writing, "My memory is bad," note what happened. "I reread the same page 3 times after waking 5 times." Or, I lost the thread of a conversation after being awake from 2 until 4. That kind of record gives a clinician far more useful information than a general impression. One sleep problem deserves special attention because people may not realize it is happening. Obstructive sleep apnea occurs when the upper airway repeatedly narrows or closes during sleep. Breathing may pause, oxygen may fall, and the brain briefly wakes the body enough to reopen the airway. Those repeated awakenings can be so short that the person remembers none of them. From the outside, it may appear that they slept through the night. Inside the body, the sleep was interrupted again and again. The temporary drops in oxygen are called intermittent hypoxia. Together with sleep fragmentation, they can contribute to morning headache, dry mouth, daytime sleepiness, reduced attention, and cognitive difficulty. The pattern may include loud snoring, witnessed breathing pauses, choking or gasping during sleep, waking repeatedly to urinate, morning fog, or falling asleep during quiet daytime activities. But snoring alone does not diagnose sleep apnea. Many people snore without having the condition, and some people with sleep apnea do not describe classic sleepiness. They may complain instead of fatigue, mood changes, poor concentration, or a memory that seems unreliable. That distinction matters because an older adult may seek help for memory loss, while the strongest clues are happening at night. Daytime sleepiness also becomes a safety issue when driving. Fighting to stay awake behind the wheel is not a minor inconvenience. It is a reason to stop driving and seek prompt medical advice. When sleep apnea is confirmed, one common treatment is continuous positive airway pressure, usually called CPAP. The machine provides gentle air pressure through a mask to help keep the airway open during sleep. Research in older adults shows that CPAP can improve sleepiness and quality of life. Some studies also report improvements in areas of cognitive performance, but those benefits are not guaranteed. Results can depend on the severity of the apnea, how consistently the treatment is used, and whether another cognitive condition is also present. CPAP is not a dementia cure, and it should not be started without a diagnosis and professional guidance. Still, treating a confirmed breathing disorder can remove one important source of repeated sleep disruption. For someone whose attention is being weakened every night, that may make daily thinking feel clearer, even though no one can promise the same result for every person. Sleep apnea is important, but it is only one part of the picture. Insomnia can mean difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking too early and being unable to return to sleep. Pain from arthritis, neuropathy, or back problems may repeatedly pull the brain toward wakefulness. Nocturia, the medical term for repeated nighttime urination, can break sleep several times in one night. It may also be a clue to another health issue, so it should not simply be accepted without discussion. Restless leg syndrome and periodic limb movements can repeatedly disturb sleep. Depression, anxiety, grief, and stress may affect both sleep and daytime concentration. Alcohol may make a person feel sleepy at first, yet contribute to more fragmented sleep later in the night. Medications matter too. Sedatives, stimulants, corticosteroids, some antidepressants, decongestants, diuretics, and even the timing of a medicine may affect sleep. That does not mean you should stop or move a prescribed medication on your own. It means the full medication list, including over-the-counter products, should be reviewed when sleep and cognition change together. The practical lesson is simple. Poor sleep is often not one problem. It may be the final result of pain, breathing difficulty, mood, medication effects, bathroom trips, and changes in the body clock all working together. This is where the conversation needs careful wording. Observational research has found an association between disturbed sleep and later cognitive decline, mild cognitive impairment, or MCI, and Alzheimer's disease. An association means the conditions are linked in the data. It does not prove that ordinary insomnia directly causes Alzheimer's disease in a particular person. The relationship may also work in both directions. Poor sleep may contribute to risk, while early changes in the brain may also disturb sleep. The National Institute on Aging, or NIA, describes this as an active area of research, not a settled one-way explanation. So poor sleep should be taken seriously, but not used as a reason for panic. It is also not a reason to dismiss a progressive change in memory, judgment, language, or independence. Sleep problems and dementia can exist at the same time. Improving sleep may reduce fog and improve alertness when sleep disruption is contributing, but it cannot be assumed to reverse an underlying neurodegenerative disease. A short record over 1 or 2 weeks can help reveal the pattern. Write down when you go to bed, roughly how long it takes to fall asleep, how often you wake, when you finally get up, and how clear or foggy you feel the next day. Note loud snoring, gasping, witnessed breathing pauses, morning headache, dry mouth, repeated bathroom trips, restless legs, pain, naps, alcohol, and unusual daytime sleepiness. Then add specific cognitive examples. Did you forget an appointment, or did you simply lose focus while someone was explaining it? Did you later remember the information, or was it gone completely? Was the same familiar task harder even after a good night? Also look for change over time. A stable pattern tied closely to poor nights tells a different story from a steady decline that continues regardless of sleep quality. Your clinician knows your medical history, medications, and risk factors, so involve them before changing a treatment, sleep medicine, or medication schedule. An evaluation may include a discussion of sleep habits, mood, pain, alcohol use, prescriptions, over-the-counter products, breathing symptoms, and the effect on daily life. When sleep apnea is suspected, a clinician may decide whether formal sleep testing is appropriate. Poor sleep can make a person slow, irritable, distracted, and forgetful. Sudden confusion is different. A rapid change in awareness, inability to stay normally awake, new weakness, facial drooping, difficulty speaking, severe breathing difficulty, chest pain, or a major sudden change in walking requires urgent assessment. Sudden confusion can be related to delirium, stroke, infection, medication toxicity, low oxygen, or another serious problem. It should not be explained away as insomnia. A slower but progressive loss of independence also deserves evaluation. Repeatedly getting lost, mishandling money, forgetting essential safety steps, or losing the ability to perform familiar daily tasks should not be dismissed simply because sleep is poor. The goal is not to choose between sleep and memory before being evaluated. The goal is to notice the full pattern. When poor sleep makes memory feel unreliable, the most useful question may not be, "Why can't I retrieve this?" It may be, "Was my brain rested and attentive enough to store it clearly in the first place?" That difference can explain why a broken night leads to rereading, lost conversations, morning fog, and forgotten intentions. It can also point toward treatable contributors such as insomnia, pain, nocturia, medication effects, mood problems, restless legs, or obstructive sleep apnea. But the boundary remains important. Poor sleep can mimic or worsen cognitive problems. It does not explain every memory complaint, and it should never be used to dismiss persistent or progressive decline. Pay attention to timing. Look for repeated awakenings, snoring or gasping, morning symptoms, daytime sleepiness, medication changes, and the direction of change over time. A clear record can turn the frightening statement, "My memory is failing," into a more useful conversation. This is what happens after a poor night. This is what happens after a better one. And this is how the pattern is changing. That is often where a proper evaluation begins.